Welcome back to episode 16 in the Youthful Revolution series featuring Immortal DC. Season 4 pre-season is upon us and we need to get ready for the upcoming season. We are starting with a signing actually. Yeah. We're starting with a signing. Fabio Marquez, a loan deal for Fabio Marquez here. I'm not sure, this might be a mistake actually. It could be a mistake this one because he's not that great. He's okay, don't get me wrong. He is fairly decent. Good work rate, good stamina, you know I love that. All the winger things is there. Only the off the ball and passing is not really that great for an inside forward here. And he's not really an inside forward, he is of course a winger. Because you don't have long shots, you don't have composure and stuff like that. So he's very similar to our other guy, Almeida, and they're gonna fight for that spot. But I do think that Almeida is probably better. Yeah, Almeida is for sure better, so it might be a mistake getting this guy on loan, but I did it anyway, so here we are, sitting here wondering why I did it. But now when we have him, I think we're gonna be... I guess it's gonna be these two guys. It's gonna be in there for this season. Luan is taking his deal with MRT, but we do get him back on loan, so it's not a big problem for us. So I mentioned in the last episode that we might wanted to go in on some loan deals from Viz, our affiliate again, and this is the first one. Not the one that I actually specifically wanted really, but this one is kind of unnecessary, I would say, but we get him for free. He's probably... I don't know how much he's going to be playing, but yeah, so he's a fullback on the right-hand side, unfortunately. I wish it was left-hand side. But yeah, it's basically just an extra backup, but I mean, if they decide to take him home because he's not playing enough, it is what it is. They're not gonna get mad at us because of that. So it's just an extra body in there, and he's a Portuguese, so we, you know, again, we can just play him whenever we want, right? So I think it's a good deal. He's very quick. He's very physical in terms of how he's doing things. I don't think he's very defensively, and for the most part, most of our players on the right hand side are definitely moving more forward than, you know, trying to defend. So I guess he goes into that kind of vein as well. He's a fairly professional. I don't know if he's gonna play more than Hopfer. He's likely going to play more than Andy Thompson, and I think he's also... I think Fabinho is probably not going to be playing a lot this season, unfortunately for him. But yeah, I think we need to play some of the youngsters instead. Now, what is really good about this guy is that he has a really good left foot. So if we are going inverted wingback sometimes, which might happen, he is going to be good. Now, he's definitely more of a wingback than he is a fullback, which is also the case for at least Thompson. Hopfer is probably a little bit different, but I think it's just good to have that extra body in there. That we actually have 4 really decent fullbacks on the right-hand side. Do we use all of them? No, probably not. No, probably not. Only 2 of them, probably. So it might be completely unnecessary, this one. But hey, I got him for free, so. The first friendly is over. We did win it 2-1 against Torre, who is 1 league above us. So not bad at all. And in terms of the analytics for this one, if we're just ignoring the number 11 here, because he actually went out with an injury, and take a look at 24 instead, because he's the winger over there, inside forward. I kind of see what I was expecting from this tactic. A lot of triangles in there, which is great to see. In terms of without the ball, we are very, very narrow, as we can tell. Again, ignore number 11. Is that Arthur? Where is... Oh, he's way up here. Murato, the other winger that came in. He's very far up. I'm only looking at the first 51 minutes here. But yeah, interesting to see that it's basically a... Well, in this case, it's... Yeah, because I actually had Hopfer here on defensive duties when we are... yeah, he was more defensive minded, so our fullback over here is way higher up when we are defending, which makes sense with this one also being way higher up. So I guess it looks okay for me. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. That's kind of interesting. So someone is actually offering us a job, but it's not in Portugal, because I've had a couple in Portugal, but this one is actually in Brazil, MRT in Brazil, just to show you that, yeah, we are getting them, but absolutely no, we are declining every one of them as well. Not a lot is going on in the staff area, but we do get a performance analyst, which is going to be good because he's on 14. I think we got 3 of them actually now. Let's check up on how many we got. I think we got 3 of them. He's not in yet, but this guy is only 9. and this one is only 10, so he's definitely gonna be the best one. And I think with the amount I'm actually using the analyzer and the data hub, it's probably worth getting someone who is a little bit better than the other two. The second friendly we did lose against Vis, who is our affiliate club in the Premier League, so not too bad actually. I think actually we did quite well in this one. It doesn't look good, but don't get me wrong, these players are absolutely crazy much better than us. I mean, it's day and night. It's day and night. So I think we actually did well here tactically, and we were actually in possession, or in control, so to speak. But of course, their clinical, they just have a better team, of course. So I'm not too worried about it. I changed around here, as you can see, the match momentum. I actually changed to cautious, and after that, we actually played quite well against a pretty big team. So I was going attacking for the first, to test it, the first like 40 minutes or so. So yeah, I think this is looking quite good. And there it is. Pedro Rodriguez is going out on loan. That's a 33-year-old man. 34 actually. Now that's kind of interesting. But yeah, he is going out on loan, and he wanted to, and he really, really didn't want to stay. So, he will be here next season, but we're probably going to end up releasing him at the end of next season. Thiago Duarte, one of our youngsters, I don't actually remember if he is someone that we signed or someone from the academy. It is someone we signed, and he hasn't really played, we haven't really seen him, but he's going to be sold for, what was it, 17k? Yeah, 16k. That's pretty good. I mean, it's a bit of a profit actually. We also played a game against our own B team. Yeah, we did, and they actually did quite well. They actually scored a goal against us, but they do also have some decent players in there, like Pina, Cicado, Silver. Who's that? Oh, that's not a player of ours. Murato actually scored a goal against us. That's interesting. So also a way to figure out if there is anyone on the B team that might be good enough for the first team. The goalkeeper, 7.2, he really kept them in. That's interesting. I think I'm trying to loan him out, but then again, maybe we should keep him around because he is a Portuguese player, so he would actually be fairly good on the bench, I suppose. So there is a couple of things to think about here, but overall, it is what it is. It's just a B team kind of friendly. Andy Thompson, our fullback on the right-hand side, have been sold for 30,000. Yep, that happened. I didn't really want to be honest, but 30,000 is 30,000, and I guess we are turning into a bit of a buying-selling kind of club, where we are, just pick up players and then sell them again. We do have options on the right hand side, so it should be okay, I think. Also, Sir Ricardo is gonna leave us. He was sitting in the B team. We got 6,000 for him. Things are moving, and yeah, Madeira is also gonna be sold for 41,000, which is I think that's pretty good. He's definitely not a starter, so 41,000 is not a bad deal for us, I would say. He's been fairly average, so yeah, he's gonna be moving on. Alright, so let's talk about the dynamics again, because yeah, it's not looking great. The team cohesion is actually going down, and I think I know what it is. I have a feeling that I know what it is. It's probably the training, or, well, that's probably the main cause of it, because we also do have a lot of new players and stuff, so that's also part of it. Club atmosphere is also going down, but that's more, I understand that, because we are not having the best hierarchy here right now. So that makes sense. That makes sense. So the club atmosphere will change quite a bit to the negative here. But the team cohesion, I think the main thing, if we're taking a look at happiness here, is the training. Now, I am doing all the training myself, and apparently they don't like the high amount of quickness training and the overall training. They just don't like it for some reason. I think, because I'm not 100% sure what exactly it is, I have been doing a lot of generic kind of preseason kind of, very heavy training. And for some reason, it's just too much for them. It's just too much for them. So what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is actually hand it over to one of my staff members to see just how it's gonna do. I think I'm gonna clear this out and just see if I can manage to turn this around, because I think the training is probably the main reason for all of this. And they are all saying that it got to do with quickness, and it got to do with that kind of stuff, because I do have the team bonding, I do have the outreach in there, which should actually increase cohesion, but I mean, I don't really have the quickness in here. I have endurance and resistance, which also is part of quickness, of course. There's stamina and natural fitness and work rate, but directly quickness, I don't have that in here. And like, I got 7-8 players that just doesn't seem to be doing well in the training. So I think I'm just gonna probably go over to a more generic kind of training schedule. Like I mentioned, things are moving in the transfer market right now, and João Narciso is gonna leave us. He turned down 2 contracts because he wanted important playing time, and I just couldn't give it to him. I just can't give it to him. So we are gonna sell him. He's not happy. He's not happy at all, and of course that's one of the things that I am concerned about. The happiness of the players. It's unfortunate because I think he's one of the main guys from our academy, right? And he wasn't bad. He wasn't bad. He actually did quite well. I just can't give him important playing time because he's not that great. He's not an important player to me. He's like a squad player, and he didn't want to be a squad player. He wanted to be the main guy. So unfortunately, we are in need of bringing him on, and I think we probably need a new central defender. Fourth friendly is done and dusted, and we were playing Estoril, who is in the Premier League, so quite a few leagues above us, and we did fine. This was fantastic when it comes tactically. Yeah, I can't really complain at all here. The tactic is definitely working, and I don't really have any changes right now to it, at least not a couple of small ones for the individual roles, but nothing significant. It is definitely pretty good. We got a new signing, and it is definitely something I was looking for, a defensive midfielder. He is called Vincent Pinto, and he is Portuguese, so we don't really yeah, that's good. It's good that he's Portuguese. He's gonna cost us 20k, and he wants to be a star signing. 375 wages, and I've already, yeah, I am gonna accept it, but there is definitely a couple of issues with him. Let's go check him out here. So the main issue I got with this guy, because he's probably more a central defender than he is a defensive midfielder. I think we're gonna play him up there. The problem, as it's very obvious already now when you look at it, is his first touch and passing. Clearly not quite to the, it's not quite there. Also the stamina and yeah, the stamina and the teamwork is also a little bit low for me. Balance is also only 5, so he's not very good at receiving the ball, basically. He is very good at defending, right? When we are not in control of the game, which is gonna happen quite often, of course, he is quite good. He got the marking, he got the really good tackling, he got the positioning, he got the work rate, he got the aggression to get the ball off them, he got the composure and concentration levels as well, which is really good for defenders. So he's like more of a ball-winning midfielder, defensive midfielder. Do you know what I mean? It's like he's not really good enough to be a defensive midfielder on the ball, but he's definitely good enough to be the defender in the midfield. So he's like a halfback, right? He's like a halfback or anger man. He's probably gonna be the starting player in there, but we probably need to tweak the tactics slightly, or at least his positioning slightly. But yeah, very important to get to one in that is probably a little bit better than what we had. So I think that fixes the entire thing in the defensive midfield for us. And we do also bring in a new central defender in Jose Aranu, and it's a loan deal. 160 pounds, a ball-playing defender, important playing time. I think he's gonna be a starter. I hope so, because otherwise he's gonna be recalled probably. But let's go accept that one, and let's go take a look at him, and he is fairly good. I mean, is there any weaknesses here? Let's take a look at the ball-playing defender type here. Vision and first touch, but you can't get it all. You can't get it all. Composure is 7 and not great. Acceleration is 9, but it's not that important. Where he do have some good numbers is his jumping reach, which was important this season to get some really good jumping reach kind of guys. Also when we are moving forward and getting set pieces. Marking is great, tackling is great, technique is actually not too bad either. Bravery is pretty decent, concentration levels is good, positioning is only 9, that's not great, work rate is 15, so yeah, I don't know about that, because we're not really using our center backs or the ball-playing defenders to all that often, but I mean, it's fine to have them. Work rate 15, stamina 14 is also a pretty big one, balance of 16 is also good, especially on a central defender. A balance is also good on someone who is receiving the ball, but on someone who actually needs to, you know, get the ball off someone, yeah, balance is actually quite good. he's probably gonna be a starting player. I'm not too sure yet if he's gonna knock one of the other two off. Let's take a comparison here, actually. I'm kind of interested to see how he actually lines up against someone like... what are we gonna go with, Rafael? No, Rafus. He's probably the best one we have. So Rafus is probably better defending and also better vision. So he's more of a ball-playing defender, Rafus, than Aranao is. But where Aranao got him beaten is on speed, physicals, and the mentals. So they're around the same level or thereabout, right? Let's also try and compare him with the other guy, which is Fernando Reis. Let's check that out. Yeah, Fernando Reis definitely got him beaten in a couple of areas. Defending, physical, speed, and vision. But mentals, aerially, and also technically, Aranu is actually the better one. So, I guess we got 3 very good central defenders here, right? And they're probably gonna rotate quite a bit. Yeah, and then we have a 4th option in... who is the 4th option, actually? I forgot about it. Let's actually go in and check out the squad planner. Alright, so this is what it looks like right now. And with that guy in the central defense, he's probably 3rd option on the left-hand side and 2nd option on the right-hand side, with Rafus and Reis probably being a little slight better than him, but they're gonna rotate. And then we got Bodon as also the 2nd option here and 3rd option here. So we got 4 fairly decent central defenders. I'm not sure about Bodon because he might be unhappy about his situation. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. But we also do have another one. Rafael can actually also play here, which he could do to some extent. So we have plenty of options in the central defense now, I think, and also good enough options. It might look like they're not good here with the star ratings, but that's not depending on how good. That is not their star ratings. That is the role ability for them on that star rating. So of course, ball-playing defenders in lower leagues are not gonna be showing as that good here. But yeah, so just have that in mind when you're seeing these stars. So in terms of where I think we are still lacking, because we are actually maybe at the day or the day before the season is starting, so we're still lacking a couple of places, I think, at least in my opinion. But overall, squad depth is there, right? We have the squad depth, but we are probably lacking a bit of quality in a couple of places. I would love to see, and that's probably the main thing we want right now, is a really good fullback. Pinheiro is fine, and Injay is a youngster, and Rafael is probably more so playing over here or in central defense. So I kind of want someone who is a little bit better than Pinheiro, who is going to be that first choice. But we might not find it. Yeah, so far it's been very slim pickings. I haven't found it. Another thing, it might look like we got a lot of squad depth here. We do, but I think what we're missing is a really, really, really good central midfielder. I think Camara, Arthur, Gonçalves, Barbosa, they are all fine. Sort of the same level, but they are not really good, right? They are not very, very good. We had one last season, I forgot his name, but we did have one last season on loan. He was really good, and he popped up with a lot of goals and stuff in the the last part of the season. If we could find someone like him, I would probably try and find a central midfielder that is really, really good. I'm unsure about this area out here. Almediers actually have been playing a couple of the friendlies in this spot instead, but I think I'm okay with this. It's not the best in the world. I think the other side is way better. Luana and Robalo is fantastic, I think. Also, actually, Murato is turning up to be the 3rd option right now, so that's an interesting case there. Jurgensen haven't scored yet in any of the friendlies. Yeah, I mean, he only played 3 games so far, so I can't really blame him. Pio has scored. So Eduardo Pio has scored, or whatever his name is. And I think also Di Paolo is probably going to be the 3rd option. Though he's actually not trained in Portugal, I think we could sometimes fit him into the team. So, I mean, overall, I'm pretty happy with where we are with the squad. It's just a couple of places here and there that we can probably do a little bit better with. But I think we might actually play 2 games today, so maybe some of these things will be fixed when we get through this episode. Quick peek in the season preview again, and it seems like they have moved us a little bit down. We were 14 seeded before, or 14 in odds before. Now it's 16. Interesting. Also a small board update. I mean, not a lot is getting my way anymore. We're not getting allowed anything, so that's a bit disappointing, but We do fail to play possession football. Yeah, like I said, it's the one that I didn't really want in there because I knew that would be happening. Can't really do anything about it because we can't negotiate those kinds of things, and if we try, we are just getting fired. So yeah, it is what it is. Supporters, have I even showed this? I don't think. I'm not really often in here, but I guess it's kind of funny to just show it. So they are also want to play possession football, and yeah, we are not. That's probably not gonna happen anytime soon. But they are delighted with our set pieces. That's at least something, because we are definitely gonna be better on set pieces this time around. At least I think so. So that's good. They actually want to finish in the mid-table. That's also what I want to do. What do the board actually want to do? They want to... Oh, we had to come back here. So they want to avoid finishing bottom of the Portuguese 3rd division. Hopefully we can do that. Another thing I haven't shown you is some of the loan deals that went the other way. And we actually got quite a few players out on loan. And I hope even more is going to double it. I hope we double the loan deals out there. Now, there is a couple of ones that I actually kind of made as a mistake earlier on. That's before I really thought about it, because we do have a couple in Brazil. They should not be in Brazil, but that's last season I actually made these deals, and they went back to their former clubs. That is not how I want to do it. I kind of want to keep them in Portugal so they can be trained by a club in Portugal. So I made a couple of mistakes here with the Brazilian leagues. But otherwise, yeah, pretty good that we get a couple of guys out there. We also have 2 of our players in... Is that both goalkeepers? No, one of them is not a goalkeeper. Yeah, 2 of them is in the under-19s affiliate, by the way, we do have. So we do use them, right? We do use them. We just don't have a lot of under-19s that is of that quality right now. So yeah, but anyway, that's the loan deals out there. And some of them are, of course, playing in the Brazilian leagues. And this guy looks like he is having a good time out there. Mateos looks like he is definitely gonna be something in the future. A small finance update as well. We got 2.7 million in the bank, so we were only getting richer, and we get those goddamn sponsors, man. That's crazy. And they are not gonna go down, I don't think. We're just gonna keep having that. So the projection is, of course, only going up. We are only spending a small part of our wage budget, actually, only half of it right now. So we could easily go out and get a lot of good players if we wanted to. But I don't want to, I don't like doing that. I'd rather be very financially secure and maybe struggle a little bit instead. I just could see massive transfer budget. I don't know. I mean, we're probably not going to spend that much. I'm spending a little bit of it sometimes when I find a good player that I actually want. Okay, then I go in for him for like 20 or 30k. But I'm not going to spend a whole lot. But yeah, it's great to know that we do have a massive amounts of wages and transfer budget if we do need it. It could happen that we are starting to use some of it next season, I think. I think we're going to use even more and more. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But so far, finances are looking solid. And to round it all off, our injuries, right? We are starting with one major injury this time around, but it's for a youngster, so it doesn't really matter too much. It's Santas here. More importantly, Gonçalves is out, Reis is out, and also Camara is out. That is a lot of our midfielders actually out for the beginning of the season. So the tactic, right? We got 2 versions of it. The 4-3-3 attacking is the first version, which we're probably gonna be playing mostly with, unless things are not going well. And then I got another version that is a cautious version, where our mentality is cautious, and the defensive midfielder is dropping deep, and the fullbacks is... There's a couple of difference in here in the roles, if we're just taking a look here. So yeah, a couple of small changes here and there between those 2, and mostly it's just a quick way to change it within the game itself, so I can just quickly move over to that if I feel like I need to. But anyway, goalkeeper is going to be a normal goalkeeper, because the other one is actually, if I could, I would go sweeper keeper here, but we can't because it's banned, so we can't do that. So goalkeeper on defense, fullback on auto, and they got these instructions right now at least. So cross less often, cross from byline, get further forward, stay wider and tackle harder. Ball-playing defenders got dribble more and tackle harder. I'm debating with myself if I should have dribble more in there, because none of them are good at dribbling, but it seems to always do better with dribbling more on. So yeah, I think we're just gonna keep it there, but they're definitely not good at dribbling, but it just seems to be working. Defensive midfielder on support, tackle harder, that's it. That's the only thing I want him to do right now. So that's about it. On the other hand, central midfielders here, both of them got take more risk, cross more often, because our fullbacks are actually told to not cross too often. So I want these to cross a little bit more often than what they would normally do. Dribble more, get further forward, and tackle harder. So they are definitely gonna do they're gonna be busy in there. There's gonna be some busy central midfielders. Probably also where we need to do a lot of our subs, I expect. Maybe also the inside forwards, which got hold up the ball, sit narrow, close down more, tackle harder, and mark specific positions, which is their fullbacks. And that's the same on the other side, just opposite of that. And advanced forward got only tackle harder. So yeah, that is about it. And if we look at the other one here, inside forwards here, got the same things, except from which one was it I took out? Hold up ball, right? I don't want to hold up the ball when we are playing cautiously. And fullback, we already saw that. Defensive midfielder is basically the same. These guys is the same. This is the same. Yeah, so back to the attacking here. And let's take a look. We are, of course, mentality attacking. In possession, pass into space, very narrow width. Passing directness is shorter, higher tempo. I haven't changed the thing. I haven't changed anything in here at all. Run a defense, transition. Yeah, exactly what you would think it is. Roll it out, distribute quickly, counter and counter press. So, yep, that's about it. Opposition is also exactly what you would think it is. It is get stuck in, step up more, invite crosses. Now, that's an interesting one because we haven't played with that before. I haven't actually used it all that much, but it seems to be working with our pretty decent central defenders, taking care of pretty much anything that comes in there. So I think it might work. And of course, much higher and higher press. So, yeah. Trigger press is also, of course, much higher, but that's never gonna change, is it? It's never gonna change for me. That is just a default kind of thing that I'm doing. So that's pretty good. And in the other one, it's basically the same thing in a lot of areas, just a little bit more direct. Did I change anything in here? No. So that's actually the only thing that have changed. It's just a slight bit more direct, basically, and that's about it. So let's check up on who we are playing today, which is for Finlies, away from home. I just checked up on it, and they are media predicted to be 19th in the league. So this is definitely a team we should beat, even away from home. We want to win this one, that's for sure. They are probably, if not the worst, then the second worst in our group as well. So yeah, they're gonna play a 5-2-1-2 narrow kind of formation. Alright, that's an interesting one. They got some good options in defense and also midfield. They are pretty creative in what? On the right-hand side of the pitch. Okay, that might be something we are looking at later on if we can see we are struggling a bit. Because then we could probably close it off by having one of our fullbacks on the left-hand side be a little bit more defensive. Or even maybe the defensive midfielder doing something there. Weaknesses, on the other hand, let's check that out. Very poor right wing. Okay, that's our right wing back. That's pretty interesting. Lots of negative: bravery, flair, vision, concentration, natural fitness, composure, and crossing. So they're not very good at crossing, so I guess we're just gonna invite them into that as well. Unfortunately, they haven't played a home game in their friendly, so we can't really check that out. We don't really know how they're gonna play in terms of that, but I guess we could check out one of the away games anyway. Let's just go into the analyzer and check it out anyway. But we can't really expect them to play the same way at home, but sometimes you can get a decent picture anyway. But let's see, they are fairly narrow, I would say, when they are playing with the ball, which is fine for us, and without the ball, probably, yeah. Now, I think it's actually going to be the opposite way around when they are at home, so they're probably going to be fairly narrow without possession, and probably going to be fairly, maybe a little bit wider when they are in possession, but is it gonna matter for us? I don't think so. I don't think it's gonna matter too much for us this time around in the first match here. Yeah, the data hub is suggesting they're probably gonna be a wing play kind of team, which is fine because they seem to be really terrible at crossing, so yeah, should be fine. Today's team is gonna be Paulo Roberto in goal, Hopfer on the fullback area, Rafus and Bordon in the central defense area, Penhiro, I have a hard time with that name actually, Penhiro on the fullback area on the left, Otavio Enrique on the defensive midfield, Xiao Arthur, Almeida in the central midfield, Luan out wide on the right hand side, and Marquez on the left, Jurgensen up top. I think there's only two players left in here from last season, which is Xiao Arthur and Luan. That's kind of interesting. Also, the bench is looking a little bit problematic because we only really have Barbosa who can come in as a central midfielder, and he is not quite fit yet. Yeah, we do have troubles with injuries on the central midfield areas, and we also have our main, one of our main central defenders out. So Bodon is gonna get this one, but I think central defenders are actually one of our strong suits here. We also got now the guy we just got in on the bench, so we should be fine in that area, I think. And we do also have like Obaldo who can come on instead of Luan, and we got Pinto who can come in as a defensive midfielder, but he's not quite fit, so I'm gonna put him on the bench for this one. So yeah, it should be a fairly decent setup here for us, or should be a fairly good first 11. But yeah, anyway, I think we are ready. I think we are about to get into it, so let's see if we can find some goals in there and hopefully win the first game. 20 minutes in, I pause it like always, and it looks fairly okay. We got 2 highlights for us, and none for them. We got 3 shots in total, none on target unfortunately, but hey, it's looking okay so far. It's a 50-50 game, but I think we are by far the better team so far. Alright, so half time and no goals, but quite a few highlights. There is a couple of things I was sitting there thinking when I was watching this game, and one of them is that we don't really cross a whole lot because of course said our fullbacks do not really cross. Let's see, crosses completed. 15. We are doing 13 crosses and only 15% of them are completed. That's of course a problem because yeah, I think the central midfielders are right now crossing it, but they are not really good enough at doing it. And in any case, all the crosses we are doing from deep is also not really working. Even though I'm setting them to not cross, the ball playing defenders are definitely crossing it. Yeah, that I'm not too sure how to fix that, to be honest, because that is probably why we don't really get, you know, the big golden opportunity. Our crossing is just not there. It's not because we are not controlling the game or finding opportunities, it's just that we don't create the biggest opportunities we could do. So one of the things I'm thinking is probably taking the crossing more often of these guys, especially the ones that aren't really like João Arthur here. Probably just, I think Almeida is pretty good at crossing, so I'm not gonna take it off him because that would work when he's going wide. But I am, yeah, probably tempted to take it off the guys that are not really good at it. So let's just personalize him. I need to do it after the game as well, but just personalize it for now and take cross more often out here because it doesn't really work for me. João Arthur is probably better just getting into the to the box and do stuff in there instead. But Heffer is not crossing at all, right? I'm telling them to not cross, and if they do from the byline, I don't know. It's like, I'm not really sure. Maybe we should just continue with what we're doing here because we are creating chances. It's just about that our crosses is just not really great. And that's why I don't really want to play for crosses, right? I don't really want to. And if we do, it should be low crosses because that is what we can get to. And then maybe not. You know what? Maybe not. Maybe we want whipped crosses. I'm gonna try whipped crosses for the rest of this one and see if the percentage is gonna go up. Right? I kind of want to see what happens here because right now the low crosses doesn't seem to be doing it, and the guys that was crossing at João Arthur here crossed a couple of times and it was horrible. So it's just small changes, and then we're gonna continue with the second half. 54 minutes in, we get a good counter on them. Marquez out to Benhero, who is gonna get it into Marquez again and straight into Luan, and that is our first goal. And the second goal after 68 minutes here. Marquez in the box, but he's cutting it back for Pinheiro, who is finding Arthur, and he's taking a long shot. Deflected in. We are 72 minutes in and, well, 2-0 up, so that's pretty good. And I paused it because I think we should absolutely make some subs in this game as well. So let's do a quick sub here, and I think Joshi Almeida on that yellow in the midfield is probably coming off. We could definitely get someone on who is a little bit more defensive minded. I'm actually going to go with Pinto and then move Pinto down to play as the defensive midfielder and move Otavio Enrique up as the central midfielder instead. And we will also do a bit of a sub on Bodon, who is coming in. I think we're gonna go with the new guy, Aranu. Rafuz, is he better on the left than him? Reasonable, and Aranu is also reasonable left-footed, right? Yeah, so both of them are pretty good on the left-hand side, but not, they're both probably brought in to play on the right-hand side. So, well, I think that's probably it for now. I think in like, 10 minutes time, we're gonna make probably 2 or 3 more subs. Hopfer is probably coming out. We could also make him come out now, But I'm gonna wait a little bit. 77 minutes in, and I'm gonna make the 2 next stops here, just for condition. Basically, Hopfer is coming out, Berlinhar is coming in. Definitely more going forward, Berlinhar, but that's not why I'm putting him in. Jurgensen, not a great start to his. Yeah, I haven't even seen him, basically. I don't know what he's doing up there. He's not really getting a lot out of it. I think I'm gonna keep him on, actually, and put probably Arthur. Do we have anyone that can come into the midfield? We do have Barbosa, but he is a little bit knackered, so maybe not a great idea. You know what? Let's just put Jurgensen out and see if Pio can do something here. Oh, he's complacent. Don't want to put Pio on if he's complacent. Maybe Luan have done everything he needed to do in this one and give Robalo a couple of minutes instead, because he is a very good player. So let's just bring him in and see if he can actually get a goal as well, or an assist or something like that. And 84 minutes in, the last sub is gonna be Rafus, because he's on yellow, and we can bring Rafael into the... he's actually gonna be playing on the right-hand side now, left-hand side instead of Aranu. I'm gonna move them around. There we go. 2-0 is what it ended, and yeah, it's also what we were looking for, a win, and also not conceding anyone or conceding anything. Actually, they had only one highlight in the entire game, so that is pretty good. I mean, I'm very happy about this. Penhero actually got player of the match over here. Did he get an assist? Yeah, he did. Very good by him, because our fullbacks are definitely not exactly... That's probably our weak area, so seeing him doing that is... he had 6 key passes. That is very, very good. I think the small changes I made actually helped a little bit, I would say. So maybe I'm gonna do those changes as well when we get out of the game. So yeah, overall, just a very good game here, 2-0. It's a nice way to start the season. My only concern right now is that we might not put away enough of our chances. 22 shots, 5 on target, 1.9 XG. Maybe we should do a little bit better. Maybe we should have gotten that 3rd goal, but hey, that's really nitpicking. We did really well here. One of the pre-signings I did is coming through now. Vitor Huku is coming in. He is an under 19 kind of player, and I don't think he's gonna get a lot of play time, but he could play as a winger. But here is the fact: he is Brazilian. He's not trained in the nation, and I don't really think we're gonna use him this season. So he might be loaned out to a Portuguese club if I can, but otherwise, yeah, he's probably just going to be in the under 19th. The next match is going to be against Rabo di Pixi at home. Yes, they are seeded, I believe it's 17 in the media, so also a team we definitely want to beat at home here. A 4-4-2 are they playing. They got a pretty good defensive right back and also a midfielder, and in attack they got a pretty good player maybe. Crossing is pretty good, so we definitely... I mean, we are inviting crosses right now, so we'll see how it goes, but maybe we don't want to do that against these guys. But also a lot of weaknesses: technique, first touch, decision making, anticipation, tackling, marking. Wow, everything is a weakness in their team apparently. Flair, teamwork, passing, vision. Holy moly. We only have one of their home games to go by because their friendlies, well, you can't really see statistics in there. It's not showing, but seems like they are very, very wide in their formation when they are attacking, but that is at home. I think they're going to be fairly narrow when we are playing them at home. And without the ball, yeah. I think it might be something like this as well when they're away from home. But we'll see. It doesn't really matter right now. We're going in playing how we want to play. Oh, that's an interesting one. They're actually playing Route 1, so that's probably a problem for us actually. Hopefully we can handle that, because a 4-4-2 could be problematic with our backline of 4. Alright, so who is going to play today? Well, Roberto, Hopfer, Rafus, Aranao is going to get his first game. Pinheiro is definitely going to be playing. We actually don't have anyone else that can play over there right now. Unfortunately, Rafael just got a really long injury as well, 3 months out. So we definitely need a fullback, don't we? Pinto is going to get his first game on the defensive midfield. Gustavio Enrique is going to step up into the midfield, because we also have, well, other issues in the midfield right now. A lot of them is just not fit. The players coming back from injuries and stuff. Camara, Gonzalo is not really fit yet. But yeah, he's going to step up. Almeida is, I mean, right now he's just the first choice there on the left-hand side. So I thought he would be playing out here, but no, Marquez is in there. Luan on the right-hand side and Jurgensen up top. Hopefully Jurgensen can get a goal here because we need him to start scoring goals. He's a star signing and he's not scoring goals yet for us. I'm a little bit worried about that, to be honest. I also did do a couple of small changes, but actually I left the... Oh, this one actually doesn't have it, but cross more often in here. Why does this one not have it? It should have it with everyone in here. Cross more often. But the players that I don't like it on, like Otavio Enriquez here, I'm just personalize it and saying you do not deserve to cross more often. Or you can't cross more often, so that's about it. But otherwise, I don't think I actually changed a whole lot. Did I do anything in here? Oh yeah, work ball into the box. Work the ball into the box. Especially against when we are using this tactic where we are going to be really attacking. We were shooting a little bit too much from outside the area, and all of these guys are not shooting less often because I do want them to shoot, but inside the box area. So yeah, definitely gonna change that one. Also whipped crosses. I'm gonna go for the whipped crosses instead of the low crosses here, because we do have a lot of players that are fairly fast. They're pretty quick, so we can probably take them on in a whipped cross situation. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this game, and let's get in there and hopefully find a win. 5 minutes in, Luan is heading it down for Jurgensen, who is going into Luan again. Luan is trying to find someone, but their defender made a massive mistake and Jurgensen get his first goal. 3 minutes later, Ara now into Almeida, who is finding Penhero, into Marquez, who is gonna cut it back for Jurgensen, and a second goal. 22 minutes in, Aro now into Penhero. Pinto is finding the ball in the midfield, and he's going out to Marquez, who is finding another assist for Jurgensen's hat-trick. Well, you know I like to pause it after 20 minutes, but I mean, in this case, there's definitely nothing we need to change. I said I wanted Jurgensen to score goals. I didn't expect him to do a hat-trick after 22 minutes. That is insane. That is insane. Alright, well, no highlights for them. They don't have anything. We have so many highlights that is absolutely ridiculous. And, well, more than half of them is already now goals, so let's just continue. And in the 26th minute, Pinto is finding Jurgensen, who is gonna make an assist here for Luan, who is slotting it home. Half time, and what a half that was, holy. They did manage to get 2 highlights, so they are not... They're not completely out of it, right? they can do something, maybe. But I think it was more likely that we were going to score to 5-0 than they are to score to 4-1. So there is that. We actually did manage to score, but it was an offside goal by Jurgensen. So, yeah. It is what it is. But, well, yeah, I mean, we could be clinical finishing. We are dominating them completely. Yeah, I don't really have anything else to say here, except from just this was pretty much the perfect half. So, yeah, let's just continue. Oh, I actually forgot. I actually wanted to do a change here. It's only 8 seconds in. What I wanted to do was actually play for set pieces, because I want to see a set piece goal. We have plenty of set pieces, but or at least a decent amount in the last 2 games here. So I kind of want to see a set piece goal, so I'm going to do that. Yeah. That's gonna be the change. Alright, so 63 minutes in, and things are looking okay. They have a couple of chances. They are definitely changed. They have changed something a little bit slightly, so they get a couple of opportunities, usually from the typical Route 1 kind of things. But I think they actually changed it from Route 1 to a more direct kind of thing. So they're probably just trying to play through us a little bit better than what they did before. So yeah, what I'm thinking is, I don't think Pinto actually had a good game here. I think I'm going to take him out also because of his condition is not really that high. Pinhero is on a yellow, but we do not... Well, I could put Fabinho in there, I suppose. I mean, with 4-0 up, are we gonna get a goal against us? It doesn't really matter too much. It would be annoying, but we could also try and actually go to the other tactic and just put in... probably not work the ball into, but just play for set pieces. I think we're gonna go to this one and actually put Fabinho over here as a... probably as a inverted wingback on support or maybe defend. I think we're gonna go structured here and let... Nah, I actually want him to go a little bit further up. Put him on support and just get up there a little bit. What else? Yeah, Pinto, right? Pinto. We want him off because he's not playing well, and he is... Barbosa could come in. Yeah, I mean, that is actually a little bit more attacking minded, but what we could do is put Barbosa in, put him up here, and put Otavio Enriquez in the defensive midfield positioning on the defense, which he should be okay by doing. Yeah, he got really good marking, decent tackling, good stamina. Yeah. Alright, I think that's the 2 changes we're gonna do here. Or well, actually a couple of changes with also changing the mentality a little bit to cautious and just, you know, just not being too aggressive here because they've definitely changed their thing. I would like a clean sheet, you know, so that's kind of the aim here. 71 minutes in, they do get a goal, and it is from a cross, which is not great, so we probably need to take that one out. Yeah, the more I think about it, the more it actually makes sense that in this cautious mentality, we probably want to stop crosses rather than invite crosses. Especially against the team who actually are pretty good in the air as well, which they are. They do have a couple of big boys up there, and they seem to be doing okay on crosses, and that's what they want to do, it seems. So let's stop them from that. Alright, so 78 minutes in here. I think we're gonna do a couple of more subs. They look like the most dangerous team out there right now. It could be to do with us changing the tactic completely, or the going down on cautious and not attacking them. That might be the case. I think we're just gonna keep going with it because I'm kind of experimenting a little bit here, I guess. But we will do some subs here to probably try and avoid too many goals against us. I mean, our central defenders are looking okay. I think Hopfer is coming out for Berlinher, and I'm probably gonna set him to not being on auto, but actually on attack. Yeah, and I also saw Fabinho doing something really, really stupid on his inverted wingback roll over there. So I think I'm just going to put him on defense, so he's going to be staying back on that inverted wingback roll. Yeah, I think that's probably about it, unless we want to do another sub. I guess we could put in maybe Botton here instead of Rafus. Just fresh legs in the central defense, straight up sub, I suppose. I mean, most of my subs are straight up subs, so yeah, there we go. Let's go for that. Alrighty, last sub after 83 minutes here. Otavio Enrique is complacent. That is not great, but yeah, he's not playing too well either. I guess the defensive midfielder here is not really working, and I guess overall, the tactic is not working right now. That is definitely something to be concerned about. Trying it again, I would say, in a game where it matters more than this one, because we are already so many goals up. I think Rabala is coming on instead of Luan to see if we can... I don't even know if I want to do that. Let's think about that for a second. No, actually Gonçalves, fresh legs in the midfield. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Full time, 4-1 result. Second half we didn't really have a lot of highlights, so I'm a little bit concerned about going cautious again and doing those things, but after I changed it from inviting crosses to stop inviting crosses in that tactic, they definitely struggled a little bit more. It was actually right here I did that, and after that I guess the match momentum actually went our way again. So maybe I just needed to change that, and it was a little bit better, because there was a couple of crosses early on in the second half that I was worried about, and that didn't really come again. That they didn't really get more on that front. So overall, and I mean, fantastic game, absolutely fantastic game. But of course, second half was a little bit more meh, you know. But overall, fantastic. I'm so happy about this start to the season. Yeah, absolutely. What a way to start this season off, man. 2 wins at home and 1 away. But it is, of course, against some of the weaker opponents, at least suggested by the media, in the league. So we have to remember that. And I have a feeling we're probably going to end up in the mid-section somewhere, like the media is also predicting us. I do believe we're going to lose some games against like the likes of Academica, maybe. And I don't know who else is actually really big teams in here, but Academica is definitely going to be hard. Maybe Amora is going to be hard. So what I'm thinking is just coming back in the mid-section somewhere where there's 2 good games that looks really interesting to play. So yeah, and as always, we're going to end it over here on the club screen. And actually, should we end it on the general screen this time around? Why not? So you can see the landmarks, we got the trophies, which we haven't won any of. But yeah, earlier in their... They did actually win the 2nd division at some stage, and also the Algarve 1st division. So yeah, and also we have the supporter profile. We got the icons. Do we have anyone we know in here? Pina, Diogo Pina is an icon. Okay. Who else? No one. Okay. Pedro Rodriguez is a favorite personal, and Fabinho is also a favorite personal. Interesting. But anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this first episode in Season 4. I absolutely did. So yeah, see you around next time.